Apparently, I'm not supposed to take my dog into pet stores. So, today I had to take my dog into the vet for her semi-annual blood test. She absolutely loves going to the vet and was super excited to go play with all the techs. Afterwards, we walked to the pet store just down the street because she's definitely on the nice list and deserves a new toy for Christmas. Now, my dog is an Akita, so she's pretty big, and I understand that she's a little scary looking. She's also super gentle and seems to understand that kids, especially, can be intimidated by her, so when she sees new people, she won't run up to them, but she will get excited and start wagging her tail, which is adorable because it's a curly cinnamon roll. As a result, I don't feel the need to do anything, like pull her away from scared people. I honestly think that only makes things worse, because she'll always wait for them to close the gap anyways. So we walked into the store, and it's pretty quiet. We're just walking towards dog toys, and my dog is laser focused on the table of dog treats. As a mum and her kid walk past, and he points to my dog and calls it a wolf. Her face is all black and she's big enough that this isn't really a stretch. The mum then stops me and the following conversation happened. The lady says, "Excuse me, that breed is banned. You can't bring it in here." I say, "I'm pretty sure that the store doesn't have a banned breed list. It's a pet store." The lady then says again, "That's a wolf hybrid and it's scaring my kid. You need to leave." I'm sorry your kid is afraid of dogs, but she's not a wolf hybrid and she's not bothering you. This whole time, we're still standing next to the treat table, so the dog hasn't moved an inch closer to them. She's just staring at the food with her tail wagging. "My son is scared, you two need to leave." No! At this point, my dog decided that these must be new friends. She took a step forward with her tail still wagging at top speed. She stretched her head towards them, though they were still 2 or 3 feet away, to ask for pets, and the kid was just frozen, staring. The mother just picked up her kid and walked the other way. I just chuckled, and we went to look at the dog toys. When I went to check out, the cashier told me the lady had complained about my wolf hybrid, and they had to tell her that all dogs who are not acting aggressively are more than welcome in the store. The lady was ignored, and my good girl got 2 treats from the nice worker. Not a very climactic or crazy story, but I was amused that some crazy lady thought a dog shouldn't be in a pet store. Edit, here's a picture of my good girl. She is just so mean. Edit 2. Thank you so much to everyone saying how cute she is. She's very snuggly and is happy she's getting all the cuddles right now. Also, since someone asked, here's a picture of her cinnamon roll tail. Sorry I'm not a great photographer, but you get the point. Beyonces Stepdad Got Mad, he got a raise. So my fiancé works as a part-time junior web developer and is excellent in his work. He still has 1 year left of college. He has gotten plenty of praise from his work, and when he took a break from work to finish school projects, the company was whining for him to get back as the project wasn't advancing without him. I don't know how much this stepdad earns. I think somewhere around or over €20 an hour. When we told about the raise, 15 to 17 euros an hour, my fiance's stepdad got seriously mad. He thinks that because my fiancé is still in college, he can't do anything and has not earned said raise. So he says, "You are just in their way there, and yet they pay you that much money? You don't deserve it." And the rant continued. I feel like he got offended that my fiancé, who's young, is doing so well, while he's stuck where he is. We just sat there quiet, listening to the rant and looking at each other, and I swear we both thought the exact same thing at the same time. Okay, boomer. You would think parents would be proud of their step or not kids getting a raise, but guess not. Sorry if this doesn't belong here, but I just needed to vent. He works so hard, and it breaks my heart when somebody pushes him down like that. Totally unjustified. Edit. I was kindly told that my fiancé refers to woman and fiancé to man, without an extra E. I did not know this. We are not native English speakers. Also, I showed my fiancé the post and he was very flattered by all your nice comments. Thank you. I also get a bit of hate on the OK Boomer part. We did not say it out loud. The whole thing was just so obscure to get a rant over a raise that there was this moment we made eye contact and it just kind of clicked between us. We were so taken aback. Sorry for the cringe. Guys, I'm frickin' furious. My entitled tramp of a stepmother just took my sensory toy away and won't tell me where the hell it is. I freak without it, as in sensory overload and meltdowns. I was forced to come to my dad's house, and then I find that this fudging tramp has turned my room upside down. There's a chocolate from my advent calendar missing, and my sensory toy is frickin' gone. She won't tell me where it is. I can't sleep without it. I'm freaking out right now as it is. I'm autistic, as it says in my username. I don't know what to do. Edit. Found it. She threw a fit and is now sulking like a toddler. What the? Entitled mother called out for abusing her kid in public. I apologize for bad grammar, as I'm on mobile. So me and my grandma went to Walmart to get some shopping done. We were preparing for a football party, something we do occasionally for the football game. When we had parked, me and my grandma start going over what we needed to get. The list was long since we forgot to shop the night before. When we were ready to get out, we noticed a mum with 3 kids. I don't know their ages, but I guessed based on their appearance. One was sitting in the kid's seat of the cart. She looked around 4. The other 2 kids were in the cart and looked like 6 and 7. The little 4-year-old was screaming and crying, so we were concerned already. But before we could ask, the mum takes out the 4-year-old and drops her onto the hard concrete. The child began crying more and complained about her head hurting, but the entitled mum just started yelling at the kid for not listening. We at first didn't want to intervene, as the mum and the kids started getting closer to their car, but then when the little girl started to pull on entitled mother's shirt, she smacked the girl's mouth with the back of her hand. My grandma and I then started to head towards them, but another around late 40s couple beat us there. The women start to yell at entitled mother for what entitled mother did to the little girl. Get this, entitled mother was defending her actions and started saying things like, "Discipline is discipline, I can do whatever I want, it's my kids." The entitled mother's boyfriend started yelling to entitled mother to just get into the car, but entitled mother was not having any of it. She then looked at us and said, "You don't think I should be allowed to discipline my child how I want?" Seeing this little girl still crying in the car, I really wanted to say something, but my grandma did instead. She said, "You smacked your kid, and that is not discipline, that is just wrong and abuse." This enraged entitled mother. She then started cussing and screaming at everyone, even her boyfriend. Things started escalating so fast, my grandma whispered for me to get in the car and call the cops. I hurried and got into our car, which was only a few feet away. I called the cops before getting out and coming to my grandma's aid when everyone was yelling. Not too long after, the cops showed up and she was arrested. The boyfriend was also arrested because he had warrants out for his arrest, not sure what for though. The female officer had calmed down the children and offered to buy them candy from the store, but not too long after, their grandparent came and got them. We spoke to the grandparents and learned they were trying to take their kids for a while now from past experiences, and they were grateful we called the cops. Thankfully, the kids are safe now and their mother isn't allowed anywhere near them. Edit. Thank you for those who pointed out my spelling errors. I typed fast and didn't double check, which was bad on my part. Also, to those commenting about abuse they went through, I'm sorry. I hope you are now in a safe environment and getting help. My sister ruined Christmas for her kids. So my sister, 25, has 2 kids, who are 4 and 6. And December 9th, and she decided to get her a unicorn piñata. She didn't use the piñata on her birthday because we didn't have time. Well, a few days passed and I asked when she was going to use it and she said, "Oh, we didn't have time for it, so we gave it to another kid." She did this after she got her daughter so excited for it and ended up taking it away from her and getting her really sad about it. Now, a couple of days ago, she decided to go to California to see her husband's family and didn't get her kids anything because the road trip is a Christmas gift to them, while also the same day getting $20 per kid for a Christmas gift from our grandparents. She went to the store and spent $10 on them for both gifts and kept the rest to save for the kids, quote unquote. She has done this before and spent the extra money on beer and smokes and had to be told to spend the money on them or they will basically be cut off from the whole family. She's consistently putting herself before her kids. I have a few more stories of her doing this, but I don't have time to post them yet. Edit 1. To answer the main question I keep seeing, we only recently have seen that she is using the kids' money on herself because she moved back with our parents and they got to see how they were spending money. No one is giving her money anymore for the kids. It either goes to my parents or me, so it will get spent on the kids. Child Protective Services can't really do anything because the kids are getting fed, have clothes, and somewhere to sleep, mostly due to my parents. She has had run-ins with them because before someone said she was smoking weed around them and that their dog was attacking them. The dog was not, so they are probably watching her already. I will try and read the rest of the comments and answer the questions when I see them. Entitled mother makes fake claim of abuse, gets in trouble for lying. So our story involves entitled mother, daycare worker, and daycare director. So my best friend is daycare worker. They work in a toddler childcare center. They and their co-workers are all very qualified, child-loving individuals. Well, last week someone anonymously emailed the center and said that daycare worker and other co-workers were taking naked pictures of the babies during nap time. Obviously, this is a huge accusation, so the center took it very seriously, even calling Child Protective Services themselves and initiating an internal investigation where they allowed Child Protective Services to look into everything. They found nothing wrong and cleared the center and the daycare worker. Well, this week, daycare director overhears our entitled mother bragging to another parent about how she called in a fake abuse because she was ticked at some policy the center had. So, daycare worker and daycare director called Child Protective Services and tell them what they've observed. And now, Child Protective Services is investigating the entitled mother for abuse. She was contacted by police for making false reports, and all 3 of entitled mother's kids are getting kicked out of the center. And our last post of today was posted by user Inconvenient Silence, titled 14-year-old entitled kid throws tantrum. Entitled dad left her, then refused to pay for what she stole. This happened back in 2016 when I was a supervisor in a one-man store. The store was very small, but popular with the elderly residents and the nearby school. We have had a lot of entitled parents and kids, the shop being in one of the snobbiest areas in my city. The area is known for this. But this is one I remember like it was yesterday. Our characters are entitled dad and entitled kid, who I personally don't see as a kid, but a teenager. So the shop is quiet most of the time, with the most popular times being when the shop opens, and 3 PM, the school rush. Seriously, once the clock hits 3 PM, the shop turns into a horror film, with a horde of zombie kids rushing in. That day, the rush came and went, with the occasional parents complaining about the rush, while simultaneously ignoring their kids trying to wreck the place. It started to calm down, with entitled dad and his teenage entitled kid remaining. They came to the till and seemed normal. Average dad and average 14-year-old girl. They had a lot of chocolate, a 360-gram dairy milk bar, Galaxy bar, a packet of pick and mix, and a 5-pack of gum, 3 large bags of minstrels, and a magazine. Entitled dad was paying when entitled kid started begging for a small Kinder Egg, which entitled dad said no to. That set entitled kid off. Entitled kid began screaming and crying, screaming, please, please, with entitled dad ignoring her. She then threw herself on the floor like a toddler, kicking and screaming about how unfair life was. I was lost for words and just watched. I have never seen a 14-year-old do that in my life. I was shocked. Entitled dad said that all that chocolate was for her, and that was enough. But entitled kid was ignoring him. What did entitled dad do? He just left. He left his teenage daughter in the store without saying a word. I didn't know what to do, so I just started getting on with my tasks. About 10 minutes later, I forgot she was even there. The shop was silent, and I couldn't see her on the CCTV. So, I assumed that she left. That was until I noticed Entitled Dad standing outside the store on the phone without Entitled Kid about 10 minutes later. I realized she was somewhere in the store and went looking. I found her, hiding between the fridges, chocolate bar paper all around her. She was hiding and eating the stock. She had eaten at least 10 sweets while hiding. I stormed to the door and told Dad to get his butt in the store. He did, and I took him to Entitled Kid. She was eating another chocolate bar. I told Entitled Dad that he needs to pay for what Entitled Kid stole and get out. Entitled Dad refused. He said about how that wasn't his fault, so he shouldn't pay, and I should have been watching her as she's a child, so it was my fault and I should pay. I was furious. I said to the Entitled Dad calmly how she is at least 14, not my responsibility, and should know that what she did is wrong, and if she can't pay, he would have to. Entitled Dad again refused and started screaming at me about how I'm a child and I didn't know what I was talking about. So I pointed out the obvious. Why leave a child with a child? Pretty irresponsible. He still refused, so I told him he had left me no choice. His whole family will be banned from the store and the police will get involved. Entitled Dad grabbed Entitled Kid, paid for the stolen chocolate, and left, cussing me out. The sad part of it all, after all of that, he paid for what was stolen and bought Entitled Kid the Kinder Egg. Edit. After that, I searched the store for people after every school rush. I did end up quitting for unrelated reasons. Edit 2. To answer repeated questions, I'm putting it here. 1. Not American, and this did not happen in America. I know a lot of stories come from there, but entitled parents have no bounds. 2. Mental health disorders. I'm certain the girl doesn't have anything, and it's just a spoilt brat, based on her actions before, during, and after. You get a lot of kids like that in the area, and it's just as simple as they aren't used to hearing disorder. Sometimes people are just bad. In this case, a brat. It also waters down conditions people are legitimately diagnosed with who would never do that in their lives. And 3. I actually didn't see Entitled Dad after that. I would pass by Entitled Kid a lot as I head to work or the shops. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that episode. Tell me what you thought about it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, and opinions. I will actually reply to this video. So, comment as many times as you want. I will reply to every one. It doesn't matter if it's a stupid comment. I'll reply to it. I'll say, hey, good on you, buddy. Anyway, alright, I'm going to check the comments real quick. I'm going to see who's been commenting lately. As always, shout out to Grandma Nancy. She's at the top of my list. I love Grandma. Anyone else? Let's see. Lady Tenor 9876. I always love to see you commenting. Thank you. That line coach is a jerk. Way to go, OP. Hell yeah. Anyone else? Oh yeah, Shadow Raiden 23. I see you in the comments all the time. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Audio Geeks Vintage Sales. I see you changed your name from something else in the past. Please tone down the profanity sometimes. You seem to get very angry in the comments. LJH, always good to see you down there. And so many humans, so little common sense. Merry Christmas to you too. My day was great. Thank you for that. I had a good Christmas. I went out to see my dad's parents' family. We had lunch and it was just lovely. It was a nice chilled day. Oh well. Hope everyone else is doing well today. I'll see you in the next video, and have a good one. Bye.